Pitch Perfect.
Pitch Perfect. That's a strange film, isn't it?
Oh, that's the thingamajig whatsit with the people.
Yes,
that's the thing.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of them as well. Like, not people,
I think
but
there
films.
might be, yeah.
4?
I think there might be... I don't
three.
know.
Definitely 3.
I know of definitely 3, yeah.
I didn't get to Pitch Perfect 2. I watched Pitch Perfect, the should I say, original.
The original and classic, dare we say.
This is a podcast in which two friends talk about the pleasures, absurdities, and imperfections of being human. I'm Simon Ellis.
And I'm Lee Miller. Welcome to Midlifing.
Are you all right? Everything okay?
Everything's grand.
Last week you hinted at content and then dropped it as a spoiler. Do you want to talk about that very thing, or is it past? Is the enormity of it past?
The moment has passed. The moment has passed. But I have got something. Big to bring to the table.
So climate change is past. We've dealt with that one.
No. I think we just reached the tipping point where what's the point of talking about it? We should just sit outside and watch the waters rise.
Yeah, that's with an Aperol Spritz.
I mean, come on. It's the equivalent of everything that is happening is the equivalent of fiddling while Rome burns, isn't it?
It is. I actually remember seeing participating. What was I? An audio that was called "And While London Burns," and it was great. It was amazing, actually. You put this in, and you sort of go, okay, now take the tube to this, and then you would look at things and walk here and listen to that, and it was pretty damn amazing. Yeah, I'm sure there's a word for those kinds of audio.
Yeah. If only we had an expert in something or other.
Maybe we could get one on next week.
Yeah, I'm sure one will be desperate to come and talk to us.
Yes. Hi, this week we've got an expert in performance studies. Welcome, Dr. Bob Worley.
She's way too busy to stop and talk to us.
Yeah, she's on big podcasts. She'll be on Joe Rogan any moment soon.
She's eating chicken wings on that YouTube channel.
Oh, I don't know that YouTube channel. Is it about how many chicken wings you can eat or something?
No, so there's there's 2 chicken-related YouTube channels. One is
sure there are more than that, but
2 that I'm thinking of that are very popular. One is Chicken Shop Date, where I want to say Amanda Dion LeBerg. I'm butchering her name. Anyway, a young woman, but she would sit down with a series of up and coming grime stars and interview them, but as if she was on a date with them in a chicken shop, and it was
what.
Yeah, you should. What? If you haven't encountered it, if people listening haven't encountered it, go and look at it. She's quite famous now. She does red carpet stuff for BAFTA, but she still does her chicken shop dates. But the people that come on are perhaps a little more.
Now.
Yeah, she had Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh,
on
what?
Yeah. Paul Mescal was on Chicken Shop Date.
I don't know who Paul Mescal is.
Oh, very up and coming, hot young Irish actor. He was in Normal People. I think he's going to be in the new
James Bond.
To say Spartacus. No. What's the thing that's like Spartacus that isn't Spartacus? That
I
would
you
never
mean
watch?
300?
No, I'd watch that. No, the one with your fellow countryman.
Russell Crowe.
There you go. What's
like
that
Rome.
Shit film that I won't watch.
Oh yeah, I loved that film. I saw that film many times.
Yeah, of course you did.
It was called something to do with
Pointless Macho.
What?
Pointless Macho. Dead Wife. I can't remember. It was something like that. Kill the women, make it a story. Something that I can't remember.
It was the name of the people who wear the things.
Gladiator, I've just remembered.
Well done.
Yeah. So
wow, this is not an auspicious beginning, is it? We couldn't even remember the name of. I loved that film. I cried so much that I cried for my father watching that film. That's how weird. That's how weird films work.
Wow. Why did you Why did you cry for your dad?
Because he died at the end, and there was something.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I mean, there's a link there, right?
Yeah, I get it. No, I was like, were you? No, I was thinking, were you sad? Sorry, don't laugh at me. But I thought you were crying because you were sad he couldn't see it. Like he'd really loved this film, and I'm saying.
No, I think
actually
I've seen the film. There's a moment at the end where it's really hard for me to watch now because it's not great. It's not a great film. And
I got 15 minutes in and switched off, which is why I didn't know what happened at the end.
There's a point where he's sort of walking through this long grass and he's putting his hands through the grass, and it must have been really painful to film that because it's just over the top symbolically and everything. And yeah, I just burst into tears the first time I saw it. Yeah.
Well,
also
Paul
that music
Mescal,
by Lisa Gerrard. Whoa, she knows how to sing a tune. Anyway, Paul Mescal.
Paul Mescal is in the sequel, but he was in Chicken Shop Date, or has been on Chicken Shop Date. Lots of people have. But also, there is another thing called, I think it's called Hot Wings or Hot Chicken Wings.
Wait, can we just before you get onto Hot Wings?
Yeah.
On Chicken Shop Date, so she pretends that she's dating them.
She pretends that this is a first date.
And so she's using language like, so what do you do and how do you, like that kind of thing.
It's sort of gentle flirting, and she does quite a lot of negging as part of her flirting tech. Yeah, which is not a very female thing to do, which is why it's a very transgressive and quite lovely text. I encourage you to watch it.
What's negging?
It's where men are encouraged to say shitty things to women to make them feel less confident in themselves, so that they'll be easier to prey on and take home and fuck.
So you mean men talking to women?
I mean, don't even start scratching the top off that particularly fetid boil, but yes.
Wow. Okay.
But she does it in a kind of very knowing, and it's very light negging.
So has she...
Not...
Yeah. Has she ever talked about how she came up with this idea? Because that's pretty arbitrary.
Yeah. She's I think she's interviewed by somebody like
Michael Parkinson.
No. She's interviewed by another person who interviews people, but I can't remember who it is. And it's like it's an interview for Vogue or something, and they both sit wearing lovely dresses in a very nicely appointed room and talk to one another.
This completely passed me by. This whole I've learned so much, and we've only been talking 9 minutes and 41 seconds. Negging, Chicken Shop Date.
Lee can't remember the name of films by Ridley Scott, except Alien. That's pretty much the only film he remembers that Ridley Scott ever made.
Well, there was a certain one called, famous one, Turing Test, Real Robots, Harrison Ford.
Oh, shit.
I mean, that is a...
Blade Runner.
Yeah, that you know...
Yeah.
It's not...
Don't love it.
You don't...
Don't love it.
Of course you don't.
I mean, I love bits of it, but I'm always on the wrong side in that film. I'm like, why is everybody so cross at these nice pretend people? They're lovely. Look at that nice Daryl Hannah with her eye makeup doing flip flops. What's not to love?
She was good at flip flops, wasn't she? And did you watch the 2048 one with Ryan?
I did.
I never saw that. I haven't seen that.
That's Denis Villeneuve, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
I think so. And he did. Oh, we talked about the book the other week.
Yeah, you know whose films he likes?
Whose films does he like?
He likes films like Tenet and Inception and Christopher Nolan. He loves Christopher Nolan films.
Does he? Well, that would explain why Dune Part 2 is 4 days long.
I just started watching it the other day. I got 10 minutes in and I stopped. I'll watch it eventually. But
we got all the way through it. It's long, but Bob spent a lot of time going, David Lynch did it quicker.
I just couldn't remember what happened in the first one. Like they're talking about all the different kinds of. I just couldn't remember anything about the first one. So okay, hot wings.
Before we get to that, Bob and I do sit through both of the Denis Villeneuve
Dune films,
quoting the David Lynch Dune, which we quote a lot at home. We will walk around the house and one of us will just randomly go, "He is the Quinzat, which is what a very young Alicia Witt says to to the Reverend Mother at the end. I don't know why it tickles us, but it was a great thing to do to kind of like to puncture the pomposity of Denis Villeneuve's Dune, to just wait until there was a really quiet moment and they go, "He is the Quinzat Sadarak." That's great.
So was Sting in the original?
Yeah, he was. He played Austin Butler. If you
no, Austin Butler. Wait, Austin Butler's in the
he's in
Elvis.
the new one.
Elvis is in
He's
Dune
Elvis. Elvis has shaved his head and lifted a lot of weights, eaten a lot of protein, and clearly not drunk water for about 4 days before he does his shirtless scene.
Right.
He is shredded.
He totally reaches the hell out of it, does he?
Oh, I mean, no, because he's not thick like Reacher. Because you know that the guy who plays Reacher is just like constantly eating, but probably not starving himself of water. This guy you're looking at and going, oh, he's so vascular. Oh my God, there is no body fat. There's no liquid in that man.
Yeah, I actually saw that was. Did we talk about Jake Gyllenhaal in the remake of Roadhouse? And he was like that, just absolutely shredded.
Yeah, which is one of those things that you look at and you think, oh, I don't look like that. I'm such a melty ice cream of a human being. Well, I do. I know you don't because you're like a perfect specimen. And then you remember, no, that's not what people actually look like walking around because they can't. It's
just not possible
to sustain it.
Yeah, I think I've told you in my leanest days when I was, deep in dance mode and eating a very low fat diet. I'm sure I told you that I remember going to a shop and someone kind of looked at me going, "You're lean, aren't you?" So it was clearly obvious. And my mother expressing deep concern every time she saw me. Like I had an eating disorder, basically. I think she was concerned I had an eating disorder,
I remember my mum and dad's next door neighbour. They saw me walking back from the train station in Funchal to my mum and dad's house. And it was like the year after I stopped doing just Ashtanga and started lifting weights. And she was called Sue, and she went, "Oh, thank God." And I was like, "What's wrong? What? Thank God what?" She went, "Oh, you stopped looking like you're going to die." And I thought well, for a start, let's talk about being a fat kid getting thin when you're older.
Yeah, and dysmorphia in general.
Oh my God. I was like, what do you mean? I've never been thin. I've always been a bit fat. I've never been thin. And I was thinking about this morning when I was walking Jeff, and I was thinking, I might talk about this with Simon. And now I am. I think I've reached my natural form.
Oh.
In the sense that I'm about 2 stone, maybe 3 stone, heavier than I was when I was in deep in Ashtanga land.
Really? 3 stone more?
Probably.
What's that in kilograms?
I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm
basing that on 4 kilograms to a stone? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm basing that on the fact that I've never actually stood on a scale.
3 stone that's a lot of weight.
Yeah, it's probably not that.
Yeah, it could be. You might be 8 kilograms different, 7 kilograms different.
Is that like a stone?
Well,
anyway, I'm definitely.
Can someone write in and tell us? If only had.
I'm definitely heavier than, and I believe the kids say thicker. I'm definitely thicker than I was when I was doing a lot of yoga. But it feels like you're typing on the telephone again.
How is it possible? Oh, it was on.
You're breathing differently. Everybody can hear you go. Like that as you try to not.
That's terrifying for someone who I like to think of myself as like embodied. But
you are so not stealth.
6.35 kilograms. You'll know that's how many kilograms there are in a stone.
Yeah. So maybe I put on a stone. Yeah.
Maybe a stone and a half at a stretch. Maybe, 9 kilos is a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. It's because I don't really understand weight and I don't weigh myself. Yeah. So that's when I said 3, that was a lot. No, you're right. That's stupid. Anyway. I've definitely put on weight. But I was thinking...
It's like 20 kgs. You'd be on one of those TV programs.
Oh, would I?
Yeah.
Okay, then. Okay. Yeah. All right. That's not it.
And taking photos of yourself sucking in your gut, that kind of thing, at the beginning. Anyway, you were thinking to yourself.
I was thinking to myself, I think this is my natural form. And I think I'm quite happy. I think I might finally be happy with the shape I am. That's an interesting thing to decide. Ask me tomorrow when I've eaten a pizza for tea and I'm feeling fat again. Actually, that doesn't happen. I feel full. I don't feel fat. Why are we... Oh, wings.
Yeah, so there was something about you were going to... Before you talked about hot wings, and then I interrupted, and then you interrupted my interruption, and then we are where we are. But
I still need to tell you about hot wings.
You do.
So hot wings is another interview show.
This is in lieu of talking about the climate emergency.
Yeah.
We're just watching Rome burn, basically.
That's it, with our Aperol Spritz, have we decided?
Correct, yeah. I think I'd go with a Campari Spritz, just a little less sweet.
Oh, okay. Speaking of, apropos of having a cocktail, the last time I was out and had a cocktail, I was in Malta, as you know, with Frolig, friend of the show. And last night, I started to watch... what was it called?
Barbie.
No, I've seen that. Jurassic Park, one of the new ones. The newest one.
Wait, there are more Jurassic Park movies than there are Pitch Perfect movies, aren't there?
Yes. Yeah, this will be like... I guess this would be Jurassic Park 6 if they numbered them, which I wish they would. Because I looked at the title and went, I have no idea if I've seen this or not. But
are they related to each other? And does Sam Neill appear in all of them?
Not in all of them. Sam Neill is in this one. As is Laura Dern, as is Jeff Goldblum. So they've brought back what filmmakers like to refer to as legacy characters.
So it's a reboot. No, not really.
Doesn't really matter, but there's a section which is in Malta. And it was really interesting. And it was actually filmed in Valletta. Or it was green screened in Valletta. It was really interesting to watch how an American film positions Malta. Because it's sort of a bit sandy looking and a bit old. The moment that there was the kind of like cut to Malta, they started playing Arabic music.
No,
you know, and it's like,
was it supposed to be set in Malta, or was it supposed to be set in?
Yeah, they said Malta. They were clearly in Malta. They had a bag of euros, and there's this underground dinosaur trading. It really doesn't matter, because I switched off at this point because I was just like, Malta is possibly the single most Catholic place I have ever been to.
It sure is.
In my life.
It's also weirdly British, of course, because of
Well, of course it is. Yeah, because it's got British plugs, which I was delighted about.
Big, massive British plugs. Could they have chosen a bigger plug? No, they couldn't have.
But it's actually one of the most successful plugs in doing what it does. Because it grounds the circuit, so you can never get a shock on a British plug.
Yeah, but same with the New Zealand ones, and they're much smaller. They've still got a ground wire in there. Three pins.
All right, well that's fine, but I'm thinking about the American shit ones. I'm still telling everybody that America's shit at the minute. Hang on.
Okay, wait. Great. It is though. I mean,
it is.
Sorry about that. All our American listeners.
I did just, sorry, American listeners, but I did just watch an economics professor. She was probably in her late 50s, being manhandled to the ground by two very large police officers. I mean, they were probably, each of them, twice her size. And they pushed her face down into concrete because she had the temerity, the audacity, the absolute nerve to peacefully protest about genocide. I was dumbstruck. Anyway, moving on. Chicken shop date, hot wings, Malta. I've got to finish. Oh no, I've said about Malta. That was just ridiculous.
Okay, we'll close that. We'll close that little door. The door to Malta is now closed.
Yeah, it was just don't watch film shit. Wings. It's a television program on the internet, YouTube, that's the word I'm looking for. And a man interviews people while they eat chicken wings, but they put increasingly hot sauce on until you've got people who are like crying because the scobles are so high, snot pouring out of their nose. And these are like famous people just like melting and sobbing, and it's quite genuinely one of the most...
It's like a challenge that they have to try and keep to...
Yeah. And it's just lovely, and they're also trying to. And the guy, I don't know if he's like had the inside of his mouth cauterized because he matches them wing for wing and just chats on. He's like, "This is quite warm. You're right." But he interviews and asks really lovely and interesting and thoughtful questions. Yeah. It's a really good interview show, but you just got people going, "What the fuck are you asking me that for? The inside of my mouth is on fire. I don't know."
Lee David Miller, would you participate in Hot Wings if you had the chance?
Yeah. Absolutely. I would do it in 2 minutes.
And would Bob?
No. Bob has no interest in ever being in a situation like this.
Oh, right. Not because she has a distaste for either chicken wings or spicy food?
No, because Bob's like, why would anybody want to sit in front of a camera?
But you would want to.
Yeah, of course I would, because I'm a show off.
Are you an exhibitionist, do you think?
No, I keep my trousers on most of the time. No, I'm not an exhibitionist.
Except when you're cooking, right?
Yeah, except when I'm cooking. See, last week. I don't think I'm an exhibitionist, but I'm not averse to a little bit of self-publicity.
I have a quite strong memory of at high school. It must have been last year of high school, maybe. Yeah, last year. And we'd often, quite regularly, we'd go to friends' houses for parties. And I didn't drink. I mean, maybe occasionally, but I wasn't really a drinker. And but many times, I remember these evenings, I would get so kind of wound up that at some point I would take my trousers off and run around in my underwear. I have no idea what the fuck I was doing, Lee Miller, but that wasn't an uncommon experience for me.
So we know who is an exhibitionist now.
Yeah, and I used to wear white underwear as well. So running
tighty whities.
What do you call them?
Tighty whities.
They were the equivalent of, I don't know what you call them, those sort of budgie smuggler ones. They weren't boxers. They were briefs.
Briefs. Yeah.
Yep. I think that might have continued.
Now, aren't they?
Are they?
I think so.
Well, I'm sure you know.
Yeah.
I mean, you know all the rages. It just blows my mind that you've got such a busy job, which of course has got twice as busy as last week because it is getting exponentially busier. And and you've still got time to watch this shit on YouTube. Blows my mind.
I can't. Okay, so I have a pact with myself that when I get home, because bearing in mind I will probably be at work for 12 hours, quite regularly. Oof. Yeah. So I have a very hard and fast rule that in the evening, if there is one, I don't do work, and at the weekends I don't do work. I refuse to work at the weekends.
Except last weekend when there was a little bit of that.
Yeah, okay, and already I'm thinking there's a spreadsheet I need to look at this weekend. But
nothing says weekend like looking at a spreadsheet.
Yeah, which I probably won't do. I will probably put it off. But I will try very, very, very hard not to work at the weekends.
Great.
But that means that I will fill my days up with looking at absolute shit because I find it quite relaxing.
Do you when you come out of one of those let's call them YouTube deep dives or whatever it is,
they're never deep dives. I'll probably watch like one episode of something,
okay. But when so it's not like you get lost. It's not like you lose 4 hours.
No, oh god, no. So what I will do is I will put something on while I am baking a cake or something. So it's just like noise to keep me company in the kitchen.
It's a distraction. It's a way of kind of switching off.
Yeah, exactly. It's just I know that if I need to take more time to meditate. I'm aware of that, but my thoughts are fizzy enough even when I am doing something like baking a cake, because I bake cakes regularly and well. That the flow of it means that my brain is open to just think about other stuff. I don't have to concentrate on the cooking, which means I will start to think about work.
Yeah. So you start getting lost in thought or, what's that, ruminating on work.
Yeah. Yeah, and I just don't want to do that.
So that means I don't mean this as a judgment either, just to be clear, because of course it's a very familiar thing you're talking about, but it's a little bit like you're saying that, say, a TV show like Hot Wings or that kind of thing. And that's rom-coms for me, basically. That's a way of just totally stopping or switching off. But it's a little bit, it's basically working the same way in which a mellowing drug might work.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, it's just yeah, it just gently chills me out, and I think that's probably why I watch so much Drag Race.
Yes. I mean, this is also why people drink, of course. I mean, just
Yeah.
like daily having, okay, end of the day, I'm going to have a glass of wine.
Yeah, yeah. And I will often, end of the day, have a glass of wine and watch Drag Race.
Oh, so you doubled
Or
down.
chicken
You're
wings.
doubling. You're basically.
Oh, God, yeah. 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 Why not? Or and I think it's... And
You're
don't-
basically having tranquilizers on your tranquilizers there, aren't you? We can, because there is actually it is a bit of content I wanted to bring up with you.
Oh,
Not the fact that you're
brilliant.
reading books, but just books.
No, but... Yeah, yeah. Okay, good, because there's two I've got on the go, and there's one
one
I
of
want to
them's
talk
one of
about.
them's not Jurassic Park, is it?
No, but of course you know that was a book written by Michael Crichton.
Was.
Yeah.
It was indeed.
Gone too soon.
Is he dead?
Oh, he's been dead for donkey's years.
I'm sorry to the Crichton family. They must be living off his. He must have raked it in.
Oh, yeah, Dan Brown kind of money.
Yeah, he'd be looking down on lawyer money, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah, he'll be like, lawyer money, that's what I light my cigars with. Except he's dead, so he won't be doing that.